This is mustard and rosemary crusted lamb chop with asparagus cooked in white wine and butter, along with tournée potatoes and a red wine reduction. Hi, my name is Omar Nosseir. I'm 28 years old. I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I'm a full-time student. I'm a full-time dad. And I hope to make a great career out of cooking. Everything about cooking is everything about cooking. Really, you cook the food, you enjoy the flavors, the smells, it gets all over you. I really do love to eat like a rich man. I wish I was a rich man, but I cook on a poor man's budget. Whenever I can scrape up enough money, I try to make a real great meal with it. Currently, I have a degree in general studies, hospitality services, and I'm finishing up my third degree, which is hotel and restaurant tourism management. I feel a good cook needs to have passion and drive and love for food, you know, like myself. If you couldn't tell, I'm a little bit overweight because I love to eat, I love to taste, I love to see people's reactions. I enjoy cooking to the fullest. It's the only place I could really have control of everything. It's the only thing in my life other than being a father where I actually feel like I know what I'm doing. Everything else is kind of, but this I know I can actually do. I can concentrate, I focus. It's the only place I can really multitask in the world. Right here I have my awesome spice rack. It has everything in there imaginable. I also have more down here. I have everything separated from what I use the most to what I don't use that much, but it works. Asparagus, marinate in there. My sergeant and friend taught me how to use my knife properly, and I can make tournées for days. Everything happens at the table. You sit down, you enjoy life, you talk about everything that's going on, you get to taste everything that's going on. And it's just a wonderful deal for me. My dad was actually the one who introduced me into the kitchen when I was 9. Of course, took a little while, almost burnt down the kitchen making an egg. But, you know, you live and you learn. But what really inspired me is the fact my grandma and my mom, they were always in the kitchen. They would always cook and gather everybody to the table just by the smell of the food. And when we moved to Pennsylvania, people would know dinner was ready at my house because you could smell it down the block. It was wonderful. And I would never change that for anything. I usually like making my breadcrumbs from scratch, but in order to splurge on lamb, I had to sacrifice some things, like I bought $2 wine and rosemary. It's actually from my neighbor's garden. He's got a beautiful plant. I always go over there and steal some from him. But, oh God, I love the smell of rosemary. Make sure it's nice and covered so my pan gets hot, or as my sergeant used to say, never mind, I'm not going to say it. Oh, it's going to be so good. And, you know, like, I feel in order to be a good cook, you have to really enjoy cooking. You must also have a passion for it. You have to enjoy eating it as well. I've known some cooks who will cook, but they don't like to eat. I don't understand that. It never made sense to me. I also used to get in trouble a lot when I was younger, which helped us move around a little bit. It was always a problem. But, you know, it brought up new experiences, new views of the world. You get to see things from different perspectives. I'm also a huge comic book nerd. The reason why I want to do this the most is because of my son. I want to prove to him that you can achieve anything that you want as long as you work for it and you want it bad enough. Also, one of my biggest inspirations has got to be my wife, who's holding the camera right now for me. If you want to introduce yourself, babe.
Hi, 6 years married, 20 pounds heavier, never happier.
Now my reduction's going pretty well. I think I got the pan pretty warm. Now, I always love to cook from scratch. It's always my big thing. When I can afford it, I do it. When I can't, you know, I do whatever I can with what I've got. I usually use recipes that I see online or see on television or read in books. But sometimes I just like to make up my own stuff, and it works out. Sometimes it doesn't, but for the majority it does work out. My pen. Let's see. I usually cook about 5 times a week. If I could, I'd cook every day, but due to the fact that my wife has so much family out here, we get to eat at all types of houses. I've eaten almost every type of Mexican food there is in Las Cruces. To be on the show, I really want to prove not only to myself, but to my family, my friends who've always supported me, and to my son that I can be the next master chef. What are you doing? And it's enough to at least let me get considered to become the next master chef.